Welcome to C.L.Y. Media. Here, you get the top 10 of everything you need to know. Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 discoveries that prove giants actually existed. You heard that correctly, giants actually existed. Let's get right into it. At number 10, tools found in the Amazon. The Amazon rainforest is home to a variety of unique and dangerous creatures, lost civilizations and many unsolved mysteries. But, believe it or not, the Amazon was once home to actual giants. In 2012, a group of equatorial researchers ventured into the Amazon to follow legends that told tales of a city of giants. To their surprise, they actually found it. Massive stone structures were discovered along with a very large pyramid. The stones were so precisely cut and arranged that they could not have been formed by the forces of nature. Within the structures they found giant stone tools that were simply too large for any normal-size human to use. Some people link these findings to nature formations. The team, along with many others, believe that the city was once home to a race of giants. At number 9, the giant skeleton. The year was 1890 and the location was France. Georges Vacher discovered 3 bone fragments that belonged to one of the largest humans known to have existed. The fragments came from the arm and the leg and dated back to the Neolithic era, which was between 10,000 and 4,000 BC. Using the bone fragments, the total size of the person was estimated to be about 3.50 meters or 11 feet and 6 inches tall. To further support this discovery, giant skulls were discovered in another French cemetery. At number 8, Bigfoot. The first sighting of Bigfoot's footprints were in 1811. Since then, there have been countless reports of sightings and encounters. Following the invention of cameras, apparent footage of Bigfoot were supporting evidence that it actually existed. Described as being a 15 feet tall creature that hangs out in the woods, Bigfoot has been sighted all around the world. However, each country and culture has its own representation of the mysterious creature. Whilst many pictures and recordings have been debunked, there are still many people that strongly believe that Bigfoot is real. And who is to say they couldn't potentially be a long-lost race of giants that had to move into the woods as society evolved. At number 7, West Virginia giants. In 1774, a man named Jack Parsons was walking along a flooded river when he identified a bone poking out of the ground. Being curious, he pulled the bone from the ground and identified it as a femur bone. However, the bone was twice the size of his own. He continued to look around the bone and discovered a skeleton that was about 8 feet tall. In 1838, excavators found even more remains that were also much taller than the average person, reaching 10 feet tall. At number 6, Robert Wadlow. Also known as the Alton Giant and the Giant of Illinois, Robert was the tallest living person in recorded history. Wadlow's height reached 6 feet by the time he was 8 years old. For reference, the average 8-year-old is only 4 feet tall. At his time of death, he was a staggering 8 feet 11.1 inches. His great size and his continued growth in adulthood were due to hypertrophy of his pituitary gland, which results in an abnormally high level of human growth hormone. Even by the time of his death, there was no indication that his growth had ended. At number 5, Greek mythology. Let's take a look back at some more theoretical proof of giants. Atlas was the name of a titan that went to war against Olympus. The Titans lost and Atlas was the first to hold up the sky for the rest of eternity. Atlas also had a war with Perseus, the slayer of monsters. Following a fight, Perseus turned Atlas to stone, creating the range that is now known as the Atlas Mountains. At number 4, the Irish giants. Irish mythology believes that a race of giants known as the Fomorians. A supernatural race who are often portrayed as hostile and monstrous beings. Originally they were said to come from under the sea or the earth. Later, they were portrayed as sea raiders and giants. They are enemies of Ireland's first settlers and opponents of the Tuatha Dé Danann, the other supernatural race in Irish mythology. At number 3, the Bible. When thinking of giants in the Bible, Goliath may come to mind. Goliath was a champion from the city of Gath, which is a place where a race of giants originated from. His exact size is not really known, but many people believe he was about 9 feet 7 inches. The story of Goliath goes like this. David, a normal-sized shepherd, had to defeat Goliath, holding the fate of his people in his hands. Armed with a slingshot, David uses his skills to fire a rock at Goliath, striking him right between the eyes. Goliath falls down and dies immediately. David and Goliath has become an infamous story to represent the underdog. At number 2, Gog Magog. A Welsh author once wrote a book about how Britain was inhabited by a race of giants. One of those giants was named Gog Magog, who was believed to be the last Welsh giant. Standing at 12 feet tall and capable of uprooting an oak tree, he was a warrior. The giants attacked Brutus of Troy, and were all killed except for Gogmagog. He was later thrown off a cliff during a wrestling match with Quirinius. Gogmagog was the last of the giants found by Brutus and his men inhabiting the land of Albion. At number 1, Hrungnir. Giants exist throughout mythology, but the one that is known as the biggest and baddest is Hrungnir. One day, the leader of the Norse gods of Asgard challenged the giant to a horse race. The race turned out to be a bit unfair when the leader, Odin, was riding his 6-legged magical horse. Hrungnir lost the race but was invited back to Asgard for a drink. Not able to hold his alcohol well, Hrungnir got a bit rowdy and threatened to kill all the gods of Asgard. Thor was not impressed with this behavior, so killed him with his magical hammer. The theme in mythology is that giants always end up dying, and maybe that's why they're no longer around. Thank you all for watching. That was 10 discoveries that prove giants actually existed. If you enjoyed this video and would like to support our channel, please feel free to like and subscribe. Hey, if you feel more adventurous, check out more of our stuff. Join us next time for more top 10s.